Brian, much like Oklahoma State, you're facing a team that's really not settled on quarterback. How different are they from Oklahoma State in that regard?
Well, the one quarterback, number 10, he's really similar to Oklahoma State, except he's more of a gunslinger. I mean, he's really gonna take his shots down the field. He's looking to make the big play, and you can see he's made some big plays this year. And then he's also turned the ball over some. He's just trying to make those big plays and trying to move the offense. And it's worked really well for him. In some games, he scored 50-some points in their first game, and then other games, against better opponents, it's been feast or famine. Number 5, he's electric with the ball in his hands. He can run. He creates things. He's more of a creator. He really has a strong arm. He's also a little bit of a gunslinger. I think he takes care of the ball maybe a little bit better, but in terms of, he's not as efficient in terms of the passing game. They really do try to mold the offense around both quarterbacks.
Hey, Coach, how do you feel? I mean, you're saying being a gunslinger, the secondary obviously want to do their job, but do you feel that they're pressing more to get that interception?
No, it's funny you ask that. I mean, it's, maybe. I mean, we've dropped some, We've had some, in each of the first, 4 weeks that we just weren't able to come up with. But, again, I keep saying it every week. I think the more our guys become comfortable in our system and doing the same things and preparing the way we do each week, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel each week. And, that extra half step that we get with the familiarity of doing what we do week in, week out, day in, day out, and just really, trying to really focus on those fundamentals is going to lead to more takeaways as we move forward.
And how do you feel that they've, within the scheme, as a secondary, settled in and, not getting out of position, communicating well? How do you feel that's grown from, week 1 till now?
Well, like I said, last week was really kind of a litmus test to see, where we were at. And there were times that we did a great job keeping the ball in front of us, and we were opportunistic in playing certain situations. But, just being familiar with with that offense and USC from last year, they had 2 weeks to prepare for us, and they broke a lot of tendencies, and there's probably 3 things in that game where they came in with completely different looks, and we didn't get into the right check or the right look, and it led to touchdowns. And credit to their staff, and really that's the game. It's really cat and mouse. So it was a litmus test in terms of how we can play and who we can play with, and where we're at. And I think it was a real grade in terms of where we were at. I think we're at the point where we're gonna make a lot of plays, and we're gonna make situational plays, but there's also going to be times where, okay, we're going to play this different, or I'm going to react in a different way, and it's including me as well.
Anything else? Their quarterbacks are quite different, it seems like. What are the challenges of that?
One's like I said, one's a more of a creator in terms of with his arm, and he's going to try to force the issue a little more. Number 10, and then you got another guy who really can run, and he's if this guy isn't open, I'm going to take off and I'm going to create, and he's explosive and he's real dynamic with the football. So you really got to have not necessarily different plans for them, but different answers for them, because they're both I think very different players.
Is it tough from an awareness standpoint of players situationally, and that's the case?
Yeah, I just got to be aware when one's in the game or when both are in the game at the same time, because he has that kind of ability where they could put him in a slot, and they could double pass, they could reverse pass, they could do a lot of different things, which I'm surprised they haven't done up to this point. But we'd be prepared for that, but you're going to have to have answers for it. So when you have an athlete like number 5, and then you have a guy who is really, he plays with a lot of moxie. Number 10, he's really trying to win football games. You got to prepare for both, and you got to be real detailed in your preparation.
What do you think are they want to attack you vertically, but they also run the football, and they've done some different things maybe with that scheme. He's maybe been an innovator in some ways.
Yeah, he's I actually coached at his former high school, at Tulsa Union, the offensive coordinator, and I know his dad really, really well. His dad's a legendary Oklahoma high school coach, long-time coordinator at Tulsa Union High School, and head coach at Brooklyn. So I know his dad real well. I don't know Jake. I don't think I've ever met him. We're supposed to coach against him in the bowl game in 18 when he was at West Virginia, but I think he left before the bowl game. But yeah, he's real innovative offensively. I mean, he does a great job of, he is you'd say a quote unquote spread or air raid guy, but he really tries to run the football, and I think that really complements his offense really, really well.